Hello everyone, my name is Simon Sikele and today we'll be working with more additional Scratch tips. So from a previous video, we've worked quite a lot with this type of programs here. So what this current program does, you probably have encountered it in class. So I'm just going to run it through so you can see what's happening. So you probably have worked with on this type of project in class. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how to add more functionalities or how to customize your own project. So first thing that I want to show you is how to duplicate your code. So in order for you to duplicate your code, for instance, if you realize that you need, for some reason, there are certain functionalities or there's a code that you need, what you can do is you can right click and say duplicate. So when you duplicate is that you basically have two codes. Sometimes it happens that you actually need maybe if you're building like complex projects and all that, you realize that there is a portion of a code that you might need to repeat or something like that, and you, instead of you having to go and drag the code blocks again, you just figure out you can just duplicate and then take what you want to reuse. So that's the first thing that you do. The other thing that you can do is you can actually transfer your code to another sprite. So for me to do that, I'm gonna add a new sprite. Just gonna add a sprite of let's see, okay, I have a working bear, right? So I've got a sprite here of working bear. So what I want to do, you should always make sure that you've selected the correct sprite. So currently sprite 1 is active. If I click here, sprite 2 is active. That's why you see no code there. So I'm gonna go back to sprite 1. I'm gonna left click and hold, then drag all the way to the bear. So if you go to the bear right now, you realize that the code is there. So let me show you again. I'm gonna come here to my sprite 1 from where I wanna copy. I left click and hold, then drag all the way. Take note, you will see the other sprite, it will start to wiggle. Just look closely at the bear. Once it wiggles, it means that you can now drop it there and it will be copied. If I release it, this one, you can see it's the sprite 1, it's still there. If I go to sprite 2, I have the same code. And now you can see that I've actually transferred my code from one sprite to the other, or I've copied my code from one sprite to the other. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and add a backdrop. So I've already showed you how to add a backdrop, so I can add a backdrop here. And now that I've got a backdrop, what I can do is, let me just do this first sprite, so I can be left with this. So with the backdrop, what you can do is you can actually customize your own backdrop. So how you customize it, you click on the backdrop and you go to backdrops, and from there you can actually write text onto it. So you click on this for text. If you want to do other stuff, you have a lot of options here, but for now I'm just going to show you how to add the text. And depending on where you actually click, that's where you will be able to write your text. So let me just click here. I'm just gonna write bear, and then I'm gonna change the color so it can be visible. I'm gonna change it to a bit of red. Yeah, I'm gonna change it to red. You can see now it's here, it's bear. And if I go back to my code, even if I run my code, that text will be there. So you can write as much text, or you can put in as much text as you want on your backdrop. And the other thing you can do is you can actually add a sprite of a button, so you can do some animation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here, add a sprite, add a sprite, and I'm gonna add, let me just add a button. So I'm just searching it, so I can use this. Let me see. Yeah, let me use this button. Click on button 2. Now I've got a button and I've got that. So let me just go and change its color. Yeah, so it can be that color, so it's a bit visible. So what you can also do to the button is you can customize it. So I go back to costume, and I can go to text, click on the T here for text, then go and click on your button there and then start typing. I'm gonna write press to start. So you cannot see it clearly, so I'm just gonna drag it to here and make it a bit, let's see, yeah, it's fine, or let me just leave it as start, right? Let me just leave it as start for now. So you can see I'm leaving it as start. Sorry, it's a start. So if you want to shrink it, you can. If you want to do that, you can. So, or rather, let me just leave it as previously as it was. Press to start. Press to start. So what I can do is I can shrink the button. And see, press to start. You can change the color so it can be a bit visible. Change it to, let's see, blue. Yeah, or that color. Then I go back here. I say press to start. I think it's better if better left as start, I think. So I'm just gonna leave it as start. So it can be a bit bigger at least. Right. So now that I have button and that, and you've seen I've showed you how to edit text and how to do that. So the other thing you can do is now you can try to animate the start button. So what you want to do is from here, okay, let me go to the button first. So from the button, what I can do is that I can add an event that says when I click it, you should show, right? I want the button to appear when I click this, and then I'm gonna go and add another event. So this is a new event that says when this sprite is selected. So I'm separating them so that when you click that, you should show that, but when I click this, right, what should happen is that I want to broadcast a message that says, I'm just gonna say start, right? Broadcast a message that says start and then hide it. Hide. So what I'm trying to achieve is that when I click on this, when I click on that, when I click this, it actually hides. But you can see that even before I can click start, the bear is actually moving. So let's go ahead and fix that from the bear side. So I'm gonna go to my bear there, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unplug everything here so that when I click this, what should happen? It should actually hide it. So when I click, when I click the flag, it should hide the bear, and the bear should only appear when I press the start. So I'm gonna go to an event and say when I receive start, what should happen? It should show it, because remember this start that's here is a start that's coming from this button, which means the button was gonna broadcast start, and this one when I press this, when this is clicked, you can see it will broadcast start, and then when I go back to the bear will now receive the start. So which means that this is, if this button has been pressed, that means the start has been received. So what you do, my bear should now appear. So I'm gonna have to use show. Use show, and you can plug it there. So now what happens is that if I run my program right now, you see the bear is not appearing there. Once I click the start, the bear is here, but the start button is gone. So this is one way you can use the button to do some other stuff, and you can add as many buttons as possible, maybe one to stop, and then try to hide the stop button when you've pressed the start, and also activate the stop when when you've restarted your game, for instance, you can say that your stop button should be visible, and then when you click the stop, the start one should be visible. So that's it for this video. I think one last thing that I might have forgotten is just to add a block comment. So how do you do that? You go to you have to add a comment. You right click on whatever block that you want to add a comment to and say add comment, and you can see on the side here you can actually be able to type something. You can say loops or repeats the enclosed steps forever. So you can just do that. So this is how you write a comment, right? You right click and you say add comment, and then now it will allow you to add another comment, and so on and so on. Right, so the other thing, please be very careful when you're deleting your blocks. Like for instance, if you right click here, you see it will say delete 6 blocks, because remember, forever is enclosing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, and also including itself. That means it's 6 blocks. But if I click on move, it will say just say delete block, because move is not enclosing any block. So be very careful when you delete, because once you delete the 6 blocks, that means everything from here will be deleted. Thank you very much. Let's meet in the next video.